So anyways, I saw this article, came out a couple of days ago.
Yeah. What did it say?
And these are 4 social media influencers who were swept up by the movement that claims that obesity is perfectly healthy, body positivity. And the tragic truth is that they've all died under the age of 45. Brittany Sauer is one of those people.
I'm out of breath constantly. You know, and I wish I knew the cost of eating. I wish I knew the cost of the comfort at the time that I was seeking. And I just want this to be a warning to other people that just need to hear the hard truth, you know, that if you if you keep it up and you keep, you know, gaining and not taking care of yourself and moving around and doing what you need to do, you know, your health is going to decline, possibly. You know, this is my experience, but, you know, my health declined. You know, I do what I need to do, you know, to take care of my husband and stuff still, and I make things work, and I can do the things that I need to do, but they're very, very hard. You know, I had to have help trimming my toenails the other day because I felt so out of breath trying to lean over and do my toes. There's just a lot that is taken away from me, and I want you to know that it's not worth it. Food's not worth your life. And I really hope that I can turn it around this time because it's really scary how bad things can get. I was truly okay with dying. I accepted it, that it was just, this is just how it was gonna go. I was gonna eat myself until it all went away one day. I realized I can't give up. I cannot. There is too much riding on me being able to do this, and I have so many people that need me here, and I cannot let the things that have happened be the reason why it's the end for me.
I feel sometimes like, you know, they ask, like, why do you get upset when you see this kind of stuff? And I say the same thing every time. It's like, to me, more than anything, this shit just sad. It's not even a condemnation thing. You would never see me going up somebody who's obese or trying to fix their life or whatever, or even just living their life and be like, say something. I would never say nothing. You know, but when people get online and glorify it, that's when it just upsets me. It upsets me because I've seen people who had a lot to offer their communities and their families pass. See the sadness in their eyes when they got to deal with that high blood pressure and how much it negatively impacts them. So it's just like, some people are like, oh yeah, you deserve it, whatever. I have none of that in my heart. Honestly, watching that girl and hearing the fear in her voice, all I felt was sad for her. That's it. I felt sad. And now she's dead, and her loved ones, the people that they all have to deal with that. So the reality is we're just dealing with a huge tragedy that's expanding more and more. So this guy here, TikTok star Waffler 69, died of a presumed heart attack according to his brother. Real name, Taylor Lejeune. He did not flaunt his weight, but amassed 1.9 million followers by posting videos reviewing bizarre foods, including reindeer meat and thinned ham from the 1960s. His last video was posted a day before he died, showing him eating a giant Fruit Loop in milk.
The famed foodie, whose real name is Taylor, died on Wednesday night. His brother Clayton announced the sad news in a TikTok video.
He has passed away from a presumed heart attack.
Jamie Lopez, who starred in the reality TV show Supersized Salon, died from heart complications aged 37. So, a lot of people have been talking about it. So the article I sent you?
Article?
Okay.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw what's your girl's name? Commented on it? Yeah, your girl.
Whoa.
Yeah, your girl's name there.
Nah, see your smile when you're about to say some bullshit. Careful.
What's her name?
Yeah, nah, we're not doing that.
The trans girl.
Hey. Don't play me. Don't play me.
What's her name?
Why you saying it's my girl?
Blair White.
Why are you saying that?
It's your girl. You the one that discovered her. You knew about her before I knew her. So it's your girl. It's like Destiny's your girl? Because you know her before I do?
No, she's actually my friend. We spend time together. Why would you say Blair White's my girl? I've never spoken to her. I've never even talked to her about her.
You never spoke to Blair White?
Yo, you are doing some weird stuff right now.
I'm just kidding, bro. Relax.
Yeah.
Well, okay, go.
No,
when you do it, it's jokes. When I do it, it's not jokes.
You know,
Fuck out of here.
You're
Take your shit.
You're insinuating
take
I have
all-
relationships with people I don't.
I said that's your girl.
And then they don't understand.
No, I just say,
so
yo.
they about to start, yo, when did Abba start talking? And then it's going to start. You don't understand. That's what you do.
Nah, that's not what I do. I do the same thing that you do.
What I do. Whatever insinuated.
A whole bunch of shit.
Go ahead.
I always do.
Go ahead.
You don't know what you insinuate?
Give me examples.
No, I don't need to give you examples.
Okay,
You know.
there you go.
That's not how it works.
When you ask people to bring receipts,
Nah.
all
I don't-
of a
I don't-
sudden,
I don't
they
need-
just want to be like, I'm a loyal customer. Excuse me?
No, that's a good one.
Excuse me?
That's a good one.
Where's the receipt at? You don't get a
When
receipt.
you ask people for receipt,
Yeah.
I listen to them like I'm a lawyer.
Yeah.
Bars.
Yeah.
Fa, 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 fa.
I know because I do that.
I know you do.
I've been shopping here. You know me, Steven. You know me. My name's Dave. Yeah, Steven. I've been here and I bought this from you.
There are a lot of lies that modern progressivism tells, right? And unfortunately, because a large chunk of the population is stuck on stupid, they do believe them, no matter how obviously deceptive and insane the lies are. A lot of people believe them. I consider one of the most damaging lies that is told by the establishment is that you can be healthy at any size, that you can be obese and somehow happy. And that lie has spawned the absolutely hellish movement, fat positivity.
And I am 100% glorifying obesity, and there's nothing you can do about it.
It's ironic, right? That it's called the fat positivity movement because they're not moving. Because
That's a wild. That one got me. I'm not gonna lie.
That one got me.
I don't know where she got that from or if she wrote that herself, but that one was wild. Okay.
I was not expecting a jab.
I thought she was saying because there's nothing positive about it. And
got
she
me.
went to the other word. And I didn't even see that one coming. There we go.
She caught me off guard.
TikTok has really taken the reins and has popularized it and taken it to this over-the-top level of exposure. We get to see these people documenting their journeys, their fat journeys. And what you're starting to see is these people are dying. Literally, famous influencers within this movement are passing away very young.
I ruined my life with food, binge eating, and lack of self-care. And I'm hoping that it's not too late for me this time. I ain't been to the store in 2 years, maybe more now, I guess. I went to the post office once and that was hard. I went to urgent care and I thought my legs were gonna give out from under me, because I had to stand there the entire time after walking in. I kept just looking back at the chair and just praying that I could just make it another second until she was done with me. I couldn't even probably go check the mail right now. Between, the growth I have in my fupa, so not my apron, but my pelvic region.
Did she say my fupa? Is she talking about apron? Is she talking about her belly?
Apron? Fupa.
Oh, those are actual body parts?
Well, fupa is what I don't think it's a
No, apron's a body part?
well, an apron. I mean, where you put an apron is, I believe, what it is. Like,
So was she talking about the belly?
Well, it's not a body part. Like, you don't have an apron.
Right.
And you don't have a fupa. So it's it's what we call parts of the bodies that are overdeveloped. Look it up.
So, like, let's say if you were, like, super obese, would you just call it a coat? Like, no. I'm not even trying to be...
You see what the fuck I gotta work with? No. You see what the fuck I gotta work with?
It's not to make fun. I genuinely don't know this lingo. When she said an apron, she said it casually. So she actually means her body fat looks like an apron.
Yes, because it hangs. Does it hang down low? Does it touch it?
I don't watch this content. I don't know.
I don't watch it either.
Whoa, that is wild. That is wild, this kind of lingo.
Apron belly. What causes an apron belly?
Okay, let me just keep watching. This is crazy.
It's mine. Yeah.
I did not know.
How to reduce.
Like, I know about diaper booty.
I don't think that's a term.
No? So is that not a thing?
I don't think that's a term. I know what you're talking about and what you're referring to.
You know some people got diaper booty.
I don't think that's something.
Nope.
But
Okay.
a coat.
I don't know. Shit, I gotta lift my apron. I was like, I didn't know. Okay.
It's like when you work in the service industry and you have to put an apron. It's really that. They have an apron. You need to wash, right? You have to lift that bitch up.
Gotcha.
At some point. It's not everybody that have a fupa. It's not everybody that have a belly. A fupa is normal.
The terminology is just crazy to me. It's like somebody saying, "Yo, listen, it's hard for me to walk around in my spacesuit." Like, that's a lot. The visual.
You never heard fupa?
No.
It's about 30, 40 pounds now. I go in January to see what it is because apparently there has been a big misunderstanding where my doctor thought I was having issues with my apron. But no, it is the growth below that I have to physically move when I walk. Anytime I roll or move or anything, I have to adjust it.
Big game. So you have, let me.
So
this is what this is what happened.
She got an apron.
This is what happened.
She's pregnant, but she's not really pregnant with a baby. She's pregnant with a growth.
No, because when you're pregnant, it's right here. When you have an apron, it's because it's on the legs.
Okay.
So the thing that happened is that you're not just lifting. You know when you have to go up the stairs and after that,
she do the Stairmaster every day.
You become tired. Yeah. But whenever she lifts her legs up, she has to lift the weight.
The apron.
Yeah. So her leg pushes up.
But what's the growth?
That's the apron. That's the growth.
No, she said under the apron there's a growth.
That's the fupa.
No, she said under the apron there's a growth.
Fupa. Apron. Fupa. Fupa is this. Is this. So the belly is the apron. An apron belly is the belly that is doing this, but the fupa is under. It's under. So that the growth under her coochie belly, if you will.
Does obesity come with a manual?
This guy. It comes with a manual and he makes the best tacos.
That is wild. There's a well-known activist, professor of fat studies, Dr. Kat Pausé, who questioned the links between weight and health, lost her life at age 42.
Hi, my name is Kat, and I'm usually the fattest person in the room. Join me on my Fat Positive radio show, Friend of Maryland, where we talk fat politics, scholarship, identity, culture, and activism with fat people from around the world.
The science isn't actually as clear-cut as we like to believe, and there's not really quite a consensus yet about the real relationship between weight and health. Obese people and even morbidly obese people have just as good of health or sometimes even better health than people who are in the healthy weight ranges.
I mean, that was your job to study it. And you questioned whether there was a real link, and you died for it.
So do you have a sort of soundbite response to people who just really firmly hold that position of like, yeah, but everyone knows fat is unhealthy, so it's right for them to start from that assumption point? I mean, I hope it's obvious to our audience that that's not the position we hold here at NAFA, but we know that there are folks all over the world in all different areas and disciplines who do hold that. And what's your sort of like quick dismissal of that?
I mean, honestly, rolling my eyes and walking away. Like
Reasonable.
Yeah, and to be really honest, Tigress, like I don't, like in my own kind of activism and scholarship and stuff, I actually don't do work around trying to unpack the myths around fatness and health anymore, because I kind of finally realized that there wasn't really a point. Most people aren't really actually interested in being educated around it. And I kind of came to view that more as another form of respectability politics. You know, the idea that fat people are only worth liberation or, you know, only worth full humanity if in fact we're not unhealthy or something, just, you know, isn't a useful or helpful kind of means. So I don't tend to engage with those kinds of questions anymore.
That totally makes sense. I think that people were so freaked out about what they didn't know about coronavirus that they were looking for any information that sort of floated their way. And I think a lot of us are not as skilled at being able to look at the research and say, like, we might look at it with skepticism, but we're not as skilled at being able to take it apart. So walk us through a little bit of that, how you and your colleagues take that kind of research apart, and then when one of the first sort of friends of their family died, and it was like, oh, we're so surprised that this guy died, but you know, he was overweight. So and there's this way that that just gets used as a like, oh, okay, so then it's not tragic that he died. Like, shouldn't we still be worried about that? Don't you think there are still people who cared about him and want him to be alive? And it's like, it is, you know, as I said earlier, almost like that shrug. But
yeah. And I mean, we could see that even more clearly with like elderly people and people with disabilities. So I'm originally from Texas, and it was the Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick who actually said that grandparents should be willing to sacrifice themselves so they don't ruin the economy for their grandchildren. Like, you know, we you know, the unholy trinity of why we can't have nice things, white supremacy, patriarchy, and capitalism, have very much created a culture where, you know, people that are seen as less contributing or as more of a burden to society, we, you know, that, oh, well, they're expendable. And so that's, of course, you know, fat people, old people, anyone with a disability, anyone with a chronic illness, poor people, you know, it's, and yeah, the result is that fat people die.
Okay. I actually don't entirely disagree with her. That we treat people who are less useful to society as a bit disposable, be it elderly or disabled. Seeing her dismiss the whole idea of like health at every size is kind of nonsense, and then her just kind of just brushing that off was a bit alarming. And the fact that she died shortly afterwards from a heart attack.
It was actually unrelated.
What was?
The heart attack and her weight.
Sorry. No, but this is what I'll say. Yeah, people definitely do that. I think with older people, I kind of get it because, you know, you've lived a longer life. And so it's like if an older person dies versus a younger person, it's obviously less tragic, right? You've lived 70 or 80 or 90 years. Like, you know, like I'm not going to mourn for grandparents the same way I'm going to mourn for grandchildren. Like, I think most people would feel those two things are drastically different because you haven't lived a life. With people who are obese, you know, the mindset, I suppose, is like people are eating away at their life. And they're not willing to make the changes, or they haven't been successful at making the changes. So it's like if they die, it makes a bit more sense. It doesn't make it right or a virtue, but it makes it understandable, I guess. It's just not something that I think is a great thing. And I also say, a lot of people are taking this opportunity to just dunk on the dead people and be like, oh, fuck yeah, whatever. To me, that's a wrong attitude. You know, celebrating this kind of stuff or whatever it is, it's like, yeah, some people are very hard-headed and some people are net negative in terms of how they influence other people, but celebrating their deaths in this way is never something I think we should ever encourage. If you have empathy for these people and you understand they're suffering, and many of them are trying to make a change, and they are making the change, it's just slow, or, you know, they're having setbacks often, the last thing that helps them is like you being there and being like, man, if you die, fuck, it's not helpful. You're doing that for your own ego and your own selfish desire to be like, yeah, that's what you deserve. But is that really an empathetic thing to do? Is that even kind or helpful to the people? The truth is, this obese person could be someone in your family. Would you be happy if those people died and didn't have a chance at redeeming themselves or fixing their issues? Would you really be happy? No. But here you are cackling and celebrating when it's somebody from a different family. That, to me, seems a bit heartless. So, I don't know. This whole topic is just sad to me. I don't know how people come at it and then they're gleeful and they're happy about these things happening. To me, it always stands.
Who is?
Plenty of people. Plenty of people online are celebrating. They laugh at, oh yeah, see what happened, fuck you. I get the whole idea of consequences to your action, you know, a certain level of accountability, sure. It's not just entirely individual choice. A huge part of it is, I agree. But another part of it is, like we talked, the societal factors that influence it, right? We don't make being healthy the most easiest choice in a lot of places. We don't make walking an accessible tool in a lot of places in North America. Nope. We don't give people access to public transport that's effective for people to get around. You just tell people essentially like, yo, either you gym or you start running. Like in a lot of places in the world, a lot of people are healthy and they never go to the gym or run. You want to know why? Because walking is an option. because taking public transport, natural forms of exercise that are very effective is an option. We don't also have a thing where our foods are just constantly laden with all kinds of things and preservatives that are going to make you more obese for no reason. It even affects people who are not obese and makes them unhealthier too. So we have foods in our industry that works actively against us to keep us from being healthy. You know, there's a lot of different things that make us complicit in the fact that other people are making these poor choices and getting to the point where they're dying from obesity or whatever it is. Yeah, it's not just entirely thing like, oh, individuals are... Here's something that's fucked up. Some people are born into families that just fuck them. Like, losing weight, okay, a lot of people come back from it. When you start off as a kid and you're morbidly obese, you know how hard it is to come back from that? And study after study shows, when you're raised in it, the odds of you coming out of it are extremely slim.
All our family have big bones. No, you've been eating crap since, well, your grandma gave you crap, like mama give crap to the kids. And it's been crap giving from generations to generation. But I don't necessarily blame y'all because the food thing in the States is weird sometimes. Finding some place with healthy food is weird. Very weird. Even from us, whenever we go, in the States and stuff like that, and we have like an Airbnb and healthy food around sometimes is tough to find.
Super tough. Very difficult. And then if you want to get it, you either delivery or you got to drive there. So, and you're going to be driving for a minute.
Yeah. So it's like the food situation is weird. And it's even worse if you're poor. If you're poor, it's like they make legislation for you to eat crap.
So you've already got diabetes. You're not even an adult yet.
Oh, it's written somewhere in your agenda. Like, it's for later for you.
Yeah, before your graduation, you get 2 certificates.
It's crazy.
And an EpiPen and some insulin. Like, come on. Like, societally speaking, I think we don't engineer things in a way that's thoughtful or considerate or engaging in practices that are most healthy for people. So, again, that's why I don't look at this issue as a simple, like, well, you ate it, so fuck you. It's like, man, starting in your 20s at 400 pounds, and you've never really learned to eat differently, and you guys are just cackling when these people pass away, it's like, their families fucked them. Generationally, they got fucked.
The setback is real. Some of y'all families set you back.
Yep.
Mentally and physically.
Yep.
That's real.
Yep. So, all this to say, I understand, and it's okay to say people need to be accountable for what they're doing. Absolutely. That's a huge part of this conversation. I never take away from that. But we also have to acknowledge as society, some of our messaging around this stuff lacks compassion, lacks consideration, and it's generally just being like, oh, well, you ate it, fuck you. And it's like, it's not that simple. And if you really think of creating society that way, then you're not really considering good solutions. You're not trying to create environments that are going to be conducive to you being successful. It ain't weird that we live in a world where it's cheaper to get soda than it is to get water.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
It's cheaper
just the fact that you have
to get like any snack with like every sugar you can want, and like you get it in bulk and it's filling versus getting vegetables. Like that is a twisted society.
Yeah, there's the fact that like there's more water than land on this earth, but water is hell expensive.
It doesn't feel like we set shit up so people can be healthy. And that to me, for a society that wants supposedly healthy people, seems so backwards. It doesn't feel that way.
They don't.
So many of the people in the food lobby just seem to be able to buy their way into the best spot to be advertising to our kids to eat the most sugar-laden food and convince them it's somehow healthy.
Hey, if
the cereal industry was one of the weirdest ones for me.
The worst.
Because we grew up on it, and it's like, the cereal is amazing for you. You need to get all your grains in and all this other bullshit. And you just come to find out later, they were just stuffing us and getting us addicted to this sugar bullshit. It's
remember when you used to come back home after school?
Yeah.
Advertisement was crazy.
Yup.
The advertisement was crazy.
Yup.
Targeted to kids. Fruit roll-ups, fruit gushers, all the sweet stuff.
Yep.
When you go to the grocery store, where's the cereals? Boom, that level.
Yep.
With the flashy collars and Toucan Sam,
Yep.
Captain Crunch, Count Chocula, all those characters that are, nah, man, this is weird.
Yeah,
it is weird.
I hate these movements that make fatness like super accepted and wonderful looking or whatever the fuck it is. Or that person is saying, yeah, you glorifying obesity. I hate that stuff. But if you'd ask me, what do I really think is causing a lot of this? Do I think it's the food industry, their lobbying power? Do I think it's like the access to good good regular physical fitness in the form of walking, public transport, biking, stuff like that, or fat acceptance. I'm always going to say it's the other one. The fat acceptance, I think, is just like a symptom of other issues. The first one seems to be like the bigger issue to me.
I think there's something in the message, the root of the message, there's something true about that. And then it got out of hand. When people that are considered bigger, and I'm talking about not like next to the extreme, but some people are, they have a little bit more pounds than the norm or what is considered normal. And whenever they go to the doctors sometimes, because they have a lot of jobs to do, sometimes they want to take shortcuts and they're not necessarily going to properly diagnose certain people or certain things, and they're going to link it to fat immediately. They're going to be like, lose some weight and you're going to be fine. Or the same way that sometimes some women, they have problems, and doctors, because they have, again, they're busy, they're going to be like, take the pill. You have this problem, take the pill. Endometriosis, take the pill. You have this, pill. That, like they do not further their researches, especially, and the same thing happened when they see someone that is bigger. They just go like, man, it's because you're fat. Lose a couple of pounds and you're gonna be all right. And I think that message is important for the health community to maybe react better or maybe do a little bit of researches. But at the end of the day, there is a correlation with being obese and certain illnesses.
I want to say there's not just a correlation, there's also a huge causation factor.
Yes, all that. So I think both of those messages can coexist. Yes, the doctors need to do better and they need to not be lazy at some point it's like if I walk in and based on me being black, they'd be like, stop eating fried chicken. Well, I'm vegan, sir. What? There's a bit of the same thing. When they see fat, they're like, man. But there's also that. There's also when the older you get, the more difficult it is with that extra pound, the extra weight. It is more difficult to move around, to be solid on your feet, to not be exhausted. It is. So
I want to say what you were saying about the doctor stuff.
Go ahead.
I get what you're saying, but you have to understand, doctors can't just treat your problem, because sometimes finding the solution to a problem is not a matter of tests. It's a matter of process of elimination. And the truth is, a lot of people's issues when it comes to their health are linked to their daily choices in regards to food and stuff like that. So, it's hard to figure out, like, is the reason this person's huffing and puffing, is it because they have a respiratory disease? Or is that's like very rare or hard to find out about? Or is it because they're extremely obese? And vast majority of the time, it's going to be one over the other. And doing the test and the whole thing for the other child, it's like, listen, you haven't done the bare minimum to at least root out a lot of your own issues. It's like...
Yeah, it's called troubleshooting.
Yes.
You just are going to eliminate the thing that is... It might not be that, but I'm going to eliminate the thing that is easiest to eliminate. Before I go deep, the one that's going to be more cost effective, it's called troubleshooting. That's what they do. Yep. They do troubleshooting. That's why whenever you have a washer and dryer and you open the lid, right, it's written, if you have issues, is your thing plugged in? Yep. Before you call us and then you do a whole bunch of shit and then you clog the lines and this and that, whatever, is it plugged in? That's why it's written that. You're thinking, oh, well, it's stupid. Well, some people sometimes don't think about it. If it's written because there's a reason. So, yes or yes.
You're right.
Okay? So it's troubleshooting. The doctors are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So 100%. Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that. So it's not only the fact that they're lazy, but also, we got to troubleshoot here. Yeah. So let's eliminate what's the best thing. I understand. But both of them can coexist. Now I can understand how you feel.
Sure.
And being a black person walking in an office of a doctor, there are some conditions that are more prevalent in being black than being white. All right? Black people, we are more prone to have flat foot. We're more prone to have high blood pressure. We are more prone to have cholesterol. We are more... Also, diabetes, like
certain cancers at an earlier age too.
Absolutely.
When you see the actor from Black Panther, him getting that, I think it was colon cancer.
Yep.
At his age, very rare for people generally. But the truth is, for black folks, you're actually supposed to get tested 4 to 5 years before the rest of the population, because your odds of getting it much earlier are higher.
Same thing with prostate. So no, it's not because I'm black that I'm necessarily. No, you're right, but there are some factors. There are some things that are there. All right, that it is what it is.
Yeah. So I looked at this girl's TikTok, and it's just her struggling to lose weight, and she documents things, and she talks candidly. You know,
I think it's a return of the balance, because the health thing was so toxic at some point, and using some crazy fucking tactics, and you know, it was really crazy and really unhealthy that they went the other route. It's just the balance going on the other side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's what it is, for now.
Yeah. Well, let us know what you guys think in the comments below. We want to hear from you.